Today we're going to be doing lesson 661, which is all about tape diagrams. And first you can go ahead and do the check-in for today using the slider. Just kind of let me know, how are you feeling? And if you'd like to tell more about that, you can enter it in. Your first activity that you're going to be doing is looking at equations and diagrams. So here we have two tape diagrams, and they're just pictures that show one of these equations. And you need to match them up with which one you think goes with which. Notice both of them involve 2 and 5, right? 2 and 5. Here we have 5 2's. So you have to decide which one's which. I know that if I look at this one, I have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 total. And so this bar model is showing 10, a total of 10. So I know that this goes here. It's also showing me multiplication because multiplication is repeated addition. So there's 2 being added 5 times, or 5 times 2. This bar model is just showing that we're taking the 2 with a 5, which together makes 7. So it's the addition problem. And now here's a slide. It's going to help me check my work. I just hit the check button and it's going to tell me how well I did. So I actually had 4 out of 4, which is 100%. For this slide, we are being asked to tell what's the total. And so the total is, what are all the boxes together in this tape diagram? And I know that there's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So the total is 10. And write an equation to represent it. Well, this was actually an equation that we had just seen, right, on the last page. So I know that it's 2 times 5, and I'm using the dot. It says equation. Equations always have an equal sign and what it equals. Okay, and so I see there are 5 2's, which is the same as multiplying 5 times 2. Whoops. Okay. So on this tape diagram, again, I'm seeing the same thing that we saw before. The length is the 2 and the 5 together, so it's 7. And an equation is 2 plus 5 equals 7. Now, I should also mention that this could also be 5 plus 2 is 7. It doesn't matter the order that we're putting these in. They're still adding up to 7. For this one, I have to draw a tape diagram. So I'm going to go ahead and it says 4 times 3. So I know multiplication is repeated addition. So I'm simply going to draw a model. I know the total is 12. And 4 times 3. So you could say that that is 4 3's. Also, though, this could be, maybe you see that problem and you don't see 4 3's, you see 3 4's. And my bar model's not looking so good, but these are the same thing, right? They mean the same as far as the total is still 12. So you could look at this as either one. Could this be addition equation? Well, yeah, if I look at this one, multiplication is repeated addition, so it could be. The top one, it could be 3 plus 3, whoops, 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3 equals 12, in addition to being 4 times 3. And likewise, this could be 4 plus 4 plus 4. Okay. For this one, 4 plus 3. So I know here's my box. 4 plus 3. Well, I know that that means I have 4 and I add 3, and together that's 7. I also could have put the 3 in the front and the 4 in the back. That would be the same. Could a multiplication equation be used to represent this tape diagram? No. This does not show repeated addition. So that's what I would say. It's not repeated addition, so it can't show multiplication. For this slide, we're being asked to match the equations with the two different bar models or tape diagrams. Whoops, didn't really want to do that. So when I'm looking at these, first off, I'm noticing something. This is kind of like similar to the other ones, except for now we have a variable x. I'm noticing that this is showing addition and this is showing repeated addition or multiplication. So when I'm looking here, there's a couple things I could look for. Like, for instance, I see this here, 4 plus x. Well, that means we're taking a 4, we're adding x to it, and equals 12. This does not have the number 4. It has 4 x's, but it doesn't have the number 4. So this is going to have to go over here. This is the same problem. They just flipped the 12 is on this side, and it doesn't matter. It's the same thing, right? 12 equals 4 plus x. That's the same. Okay. Here, I'm noticing it says 12 equals 4 times x, and 4 times x is repeated addition. It means we have 1, 2, 3, 4 x's. And again, the repeated addition thing, right? We have 4 x's being added together. Well, that's the same thing as 4x. This is the same as the previous one here, except the 12 is on the other side. And this is the same as what we looked at here. It's actually the exact same thing. So I don't know why that's there. Probably doesn't need to be. All right, so now we're left with 12 minus x is 4. Well, this isn't showing any kind of subtraction, but this does because I know x is 8, right? So 12 minus 8 is 4, and this does show that. If we have 12 and we get rid of x, we're left with 4. So this goes here, and this is the same concept as what we just did, right? 12 minus 4. If you take 12 total, you chop off this 4, you're left with x. And lastly, we have a division problem. So this is telling me if you take 12 and you divide it into 4 equal groups, well, that's what this is. 12 is being chopped into 4 groups. You get x in each group. Let's see how we did. We check our work. And 11 out of 11. So that's very good. So now we're drawing tape diagrams. To save time, I'm going to use my tool that you don't have, but I can draw a rectangle. This is showing a total of 18. Okay, so I know it's 18. And this equals 3 plus x. So I know I'm going to have a 3 in one side and an x in another. For this one, again, it's showing 18 total. So I know I can show that the total is 18 by doing this, and it equals 3 times y. So when I see that, I know I have 3 y's. So I could chop my box into 3 equal groups because y is going to be worth the same. And this is showing our bar model. Okay, this is a challenge slide. I just want you to try this out on your own, see how you do. You can choose whichever one you want. And then once you choose a path, just explain your thinking. There's not necessarily a right or a wrong answer. Finish the diagram so it represents 5 times x. And by the way, mathematicians would be writing 5 times x as 5x. That means we have 5 x's and it equals 15. So we're going to chop this into 5 equal groups, best we can. And we know each one has an x. This is 5 plus y, is 15. So this is a little different because it's not saying we have 5 y's, it's saying we have 5 and we're going to add it to whatever y is. Now I know that this is y equals 10 because in order to add, we have to add 10 to 5 to make 15. So, what do you want to make sure that you remember from this lesson? Okay. I want to remember that multiplication is repeated addition. So now I'm just going to drag, was this a 5-star lesson? Maybe not. Maybe it was a 3, whatever you want to say. And tell me how well you understand this. And if you want to tell me more about your response, put it in the box. And that's it. We're going to click I'm done, and we're going to mark this assignment as I'm done in Google Classroom. All right. Thank you.